I was going to get a degree in math and science. General Electric had offered me a job because of my space experience. And I started working at a juvenile jail, working locked behind 3 doors with 65 juveniles with no program, just 2 of us. And they were the same kind of kids I grew up with, some of them. And I had a burning bush experience before I knew what a burning bush was. I used to take the kids to unsupervised areas of the prison once the administration had gone. I'd collect money from other guards so I could give treats to my young people. And one day when we were in this unsupervised area of the prison, I was getting the 4 kids to clean up. All 65 kids stood up and applauded me. And I just lost it, man. There were 6 of those kids that I would have adopted if I had the money to do so, because I knew that they were there because of their victim of their circumstance. Their character was intact, but they were just living in the wrong situation. So I was determined from that day on to devote the rest of my life serving that population. I was going to answer that call that I heard in that prison. The Woodson Center operates on this fundamental principle that the way you heal a broken body or a broken soul is to promote healing from within. I'm really delighted to be joined with Will Crossley, soon to be my successor in running the Woodson Center, that I will be stepping down after 44 years. Stepping aside, not stepping down.
After going into the practice of law here in Washington, D.C., I essentially was able to come back to my true calling, which was to help people who grew up in communities like I did, who grew up in neighborhoods like I did. Striving for excellence is what we call upon our young people to do every day. And so that this notion that we should be lowering standards for our kids is something we reject.
In other words, the theme that we are really pushing hard is that people are motivated to change and improve their lives when you show them victories that are possible, not constantly reminding them of injuries to be avoided. That Americans are desperate to support virtue in action, that we should invest instead in these life-affirming actions and therefore hold them up so that the future of the country will be defined by a return to the values of love of country, love of God, and love of neighbor.
And we created a curriculum that is now, moving like wildfire. Over 1 million people inspired now to look at the animations that show how people overcame challenges, how people overcame racism or classism or elitism or whatever it is, how people overcame circumstance, right, in order to find a path forward. I can tell you all day what was wrong with something that happened yesterday, right? But can we call our communities into tomorrow? And I think if we inspire them, right, with the lessons that we have learned of how you overcome circumstance, of how you overcome challenge, if we can do that, then I think the center will be continuing in the purpose and the pathway that Bob has set forward.